Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm super excited for this video because we're going to be testing out the new Alter Ego Aurora palette, which just looks like this. That they did send this over to me as PR, and I am affiliated with Alter Ego, so if you use my code AMYLOVES, you can save some money, and I also make a small commission. But I was a humongous fan of their previous palette, the Goddess palette. I think is so good. I did a full video comparing that to the Natasha Denona Gold palette, and I really love it. So I was extremely excited to try this one out. I also have the Sahara palette, which they sent as PR, but I haven't played with it yet. So let me know if you want to see me do a video on that, because I've been meaning to, but so many things have just gotten in the way. But this is a really beautiful kind of like sunrise type palette. So here's what it looks like. I already took the little sheet out, but it just has some fun neutrals, some really beautiful pops of color. So when I saw this, it didn't immediately make me think of another palette. I just thought it was a really beautiful color scheme, and I thought I may have seen someone do a YouTube video comparing it to the Sunset palette from Natasha Denona, and I was like, oh, that's cool, I don't own that. But then when I got it in person, I looked at it and I was like, wow, this looks really familiar. So I have the Sunrise palette from Natasha Denona, and I mean, it's definitely a dupe as far as colors go. I have to test out the quality, although so far I've been super impressed with Alter Ego. But there's the two palettes next to each other, so as you can see, they're definitely very similar. Actually, really, overall, I like the packaging more of the Alter Ego just because it's plain cardboard. It's just smaller, it's more compact, whereas the Natasha Denona one is plasticky, and it's just, I mean, it's not ugly or bad or anything by any means, but I just prefer the Alter Ego one more. The Natasha Denona mirror is a little bit bigger. I actually like the layout of the colors a little bit more in the Alter Ego palette. I think it just really makes sense, and it's kind of lighter to darker, and you've got like your purples, and you've got like your really bright pops, your warm tones, and then the lighter shades. So I just like the way that this is organized, and I'm super excited to test it out. I think I'm mostly just going to focus on this today, but if you want to see me do a full video comparing these, and I can do like one on each eye and do swatches of every single coordinating shade, and I can move the shades around in the Aurora palette because these are magnetic, and you can see the exact same how it would look compared to this one. So just let me know if you want to see a video like that, because I can definitely do it for you. And yeah, I don't want to spend too much time focusing on this today, but we will do that in the future if there's good feedback. So this palette retails for $16. It has a net weight of 15 grams or 0.53 ounces, and it is cruelty free. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump right on into some swatches. I'm going to swatch them in rows like this just because I feel like they're almost organized that way. It makes sense in my head. So we're going to start off with the Radiance, which feels really soft. It's kind of just like a pinky taupey type shade. We've got Shine, which is a matte, light pale yellow, and then Star, which is a light peach matte. All right, next we have Stellar, which is a light nude shimmer. We have Luminary, which is a bronzy gold. And then we have Brilliance, which is a light kind of white gold. Kind of more of a sheen. All right, next we have Spark, which is a really beautiful copper metallic shade. Ray, which is a beautiful metallic red, kind of cranberry type color. And then Flair, which is a rich burnt orange matte. All right, next is probably my favorite row. We have Sunburst, which is a bright matte yellow. Nova, which is a bright hot pink with kind of a little bit more like depth to it. And then Soul, which is kind of like a matte orangey yellow. I feel like there's a word for that. Might start with a C, but I can't remember right now. Ooh. Maybe like marigold type shade. Is that what it's called? And then for the last row, we have Dawn, which is probably one of my favorite shades in the Natasha Denona palette because it's like a really beautiful, sparkly, kind of purpley blue shade. I just think it's such an interesting addition to these colors. And then there's Cosmic, which is another like red metallic, but it's a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit deeper. Not as quite of a bright red. And then Twilight, which is like a reddy brown matte. So overall, the swatches look pretty good. Everything seems pigmented, no duds or anything. I feel like the Alter Ego matte formula is definitely more on the buildable side, so we'll throw it on the eyes, of course, and see how it goes. But so far, it looks really pretty. So there's the swatches a little bit closer. Gonna break my arm. Alright, so I already went ahead and primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the peachy shade Star. And I'm gonna throw that right into my crease. And then just blending upwards. Such a pretty color. I just love a true peach. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and dip into this shade right here called Flair. And I'm going to start that on the inner part of my crease. And just slightly blend it out. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take this shade right here called Nova. And I'm going to take that on the outer part of the crease. Again, just blending it out. These are blending super, super easy. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and grab Twilight, the deepest shade in the palette. Really, really curious to test this out and just see how deep I can get it and put that on my outer V. Just using the same brush. I didn't even wipe it off or anything. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just go back in with that original fluffy brush and just blend over the edge. Alright, for my lower lash line, again, I'm going to go into Twilight first. And just got hair. I'm going to connect that on the outer part of my eye. I've got another hair. I'm going to go ahead and dip into Soul just because I really, really want to. And I'm going to pop that onto, oops, the middle of my lower lash line. And just kind of blending it in. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab the brighter yellow Sunburst. Again, not even cleaning my brush off. And I'm just going to pop that onto the inner part. Alright, so for my lid, I think I'm going to go ahead and start off with this shade right here called Cosmic. We're going to go ahead and try it dry first, just out of curiosity. And I'm going to pop it on the outer half of my eye, just kind of blending it over the outer V. And that's pigmented, it's pretty. It's not super metallic, but it looks good. Actually, I think I'm happy with how that looks dry. And now I'm going to go ahead, super excited about this, I'm going to take the shade Dawn. Again, just picking it up on that same brush. And we're going to try it out dry and see how it goes. Just going to pop that on the inner half. So I do think that looks really pretty. It has like a nice amount of texture. It's a duochrome. It has metallicness, but I really want to go ahead and wet it and just see what the difference is, because sometimes duochrome's wet or everything. I swear my video just stopped recording the exact moment I applied it, but wow. So pretty. It's not a humongous difference, but just, you know, just a little extra oomph. Alright, last but not least for this look, I'm going to go ahead and take the lightest shade, Brilliance. So it's a pretty, just kind of mildly light gold. It does the job. Not my favorite inner corner ever. Really quickly off camera, I'm going to go ahead and throw the Milk Cosmetics Cultura liner in my waterline, which is a beautiful kind of orangey yellow shade. I thought it would actually match the lower lash line pretty well. And then I'm going to use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I'll be right back. Alright, so to finish off this look really quickly, I'm going to go ahead and take the Lunar Beauty highlighter in the shade Mercury, which is a really pretty light white gold. I thought it would kind of go along with the vibes of the look. Alright, so for lips, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the Milani lipstick in the shade Bahama Beige, which is a really pretty kind of warm tone. And then just to lighten that up a little bit, I'm going to go into the Dose of Colors No Shade lipstick, which was the Desi and Katie collab. It's a super light kind of yellowy nude, so I don't typically use this on its own. But I'm just going to pop it on the center to add a little extra dimension. And then because I'm feeling super extra, I'm going to go ahead and take the Ofra lip gloss in the shade Apricot Dream, which I did receive through Octoly. It's just like a light kind of peachy color. And I'm going to pop that on the center, just to make this more glossy. Alright y'all, so this is the finished look, and I do really love how it turned out. I feel like it's such a fun, warm color scheme, which I mean I expected to really like it because I like the palette that it's duping, but I have to say that I really enjoy the quality, and I'm not surprised at all because so far I've been super impressed by Alter Ego, and I think that a lot of times they kind of, it almost gets overshadowed because it's like, it's a dupe, like it's duping this palette, and like that's what the videos and the talk and that's what all the discussions around the palette will be about. But if you are just looking for something and you want really good quality, affordable shadows and you like this color scheme, I would recommend it regardless of whether it's a dupe or not, just because I really do love the color scheme, and I think that the mattes are really easy to blend, super soft, they build up. And then the shimmers, you can apply them with a brush dry, you can apply them with a brush wet, you can apply them with your finger. I've never had a problem with any of their other shimmers, and again with this I thought that they were all really beautiful, and I think that the overall look is very nice, and there's so much you can do with this, and you can really play it down and go in with like just one of the peaches, or if you have a deeper skin tone, one of these like mid-tone shades, and then throw a neutral on the lid, and I think that's a really beautiful soft look. I love going with Star in the crease and radiance all over the lid. If this was the Sunrise palette, that's one of my go-to looks. Or as you can see, because there are such fun pops of colors, you can go all out, especially this shade right here, Soul, is just like such a standout. I feel like it just draws my attention every time I look at this color scheme. So far I'm impressed and I'm super excited about it. So definitely let me know if you'd like to see more videos on this palette. I think that's everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.